I'm here today with Eddie Jacob. I'm Dennis McDonald, and we're at Miele Appliance and Lighting. Today, what we thought we'd do is talk about induction. A new technology has been out for a number of years so now in the States, and is gaining more and more popularity and a lot more applications. And really wanted to help our customers understand some of the common questions we hear here in the store. Eddie, to that end, induction, what is this thing? How does it work?
Simply stated, induction is basically magnetic friction that's going to be transferred from your cook surface or your cooktop to your cookware. Basically, your cookware would need to have some type of ferrous metal or be able to have a magnet stick to the bottom of the cookware. And ultimately, that transfer of heat would be conducted again from your cook surface over to your cookware.
So you're basically saying it's a magnet. I mean, there's a magnet under here, and the pan itself has magnetic quality, and the two are going against each other, and that's what creates the heat.
It's
really that easy.
Dennis,
okay,
correct. Yep.
Great. So, you know, to that end, we do have a lot of people asking us about just that. You said something about pans. You know, how do we know in a quick case? How do we know if the pans we have will work? That's a big question we hear.
The easiest test and the quickest test is simply grabbing a magnet and applying it to the bottom of your cookware. If the magnet does stick, that means that pot is compatible to be used with induction.
Okay. Talking earlier, you know, we mentioned, and even some of our customers would come to the store and actually try it, because most of our appliances are actually live, right? So they could actually try it with their real pans.
Right,
Really
which they do.
cool.
Many people do bring in their pots just to test it out. We do have quite a few live units here in our showroom, and it's something that we welcome our clients to do, and it's great to test and work with the clients in doing so.
So tell me this, who chooses induction? So we said that it kind of works pretty simply, as long as your pans are working, but who's choosing it? Who's picking to use it?
The market for induction has grown tremendously. You know, one of the key features with induction is it's tremendously safe. So for those people that may have some elderly, or for elderly couples, you know, again, the safety behind that, of course, with children, even with pets that jump up on the counters and, you know, find their way over to the cooktop surface. So it's a growing market, but again, from a safety standpoint, it's ideal for elderly, children, pets, those type of households.
So basically, if this thing's on and there's no pan on it, this thing it can't turn on, really. You're telling me the magnet has to attach itself to the cooktop, and that's the only thing that creates the heat. Otherwise, it could be on, and this really isn't hot. You could touch it, the whole deal, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's one of the true beauties behind induction, is really the safety to it. Unless the cooktop surface senses a compatible cookware,
Yeah.
ultimately it's never going to turn itself on. So for that simple reason, it's very, very safe.
Okay, so safety. All right, so I like the story so far, but am I giving a performance? I mean, I've always had gas. I mean, who's picking this in terms of performance? How is it going to work for me?
Right. The complete opposite from a performance standpoint, Dennis. It works tremendously well. You know, it's the most efficient type of application in today's industry.
Okay.
You know, it's very responsive, much like a gas flame, and being able to achieve a boil very quickly, and also get down to a simmer very quickly. You know, the safety behind that with the ease of use, the ease of cleaning, also the efficiency behind the unit, and the minimum required ventilation for the unit makes it really today's ideal application for all type of households.
Wow. Okay, so if I was one of those customers that I've always cooked with gas, I love it, but I can't get it to the house, for whatever reason, there's not a gas line, you're telling me I'd be happy with the performance of induction. I mean, if I really like to cook, I'd still enjoy and have that flexibility of performance.
Absolutely. For those people that are totally restricted to just electric type cooking, this is their ideal application. And for those that even do have the ability to introduce gas or utilize gas type appliances or cooktop surfaces, many of those households have also considered the induction product today, much more so than in the past.
And Eddie, you know, one of the questions we get all the time is half of cooking is cleaning. So
Right.
Are these more work, less work? Are they tough to keep up?
Well, from a cleaning perspective, simply for the fact that there is very little heat that's generated,
Yeah.
you know, minus the friction with the magnet being transferred. So basically, since that's concentrated to a certain area, any spills or any cleanup is extremely easy on the glass type surface, much more so than your electric type radiant cooking or even a gas type surface. So yes, by far this is the easiest to clean.
So Eddie, we mentioned at the beginning that there's more and more products coming out. Talk to me about some of the brands and the price points. I mean, is this something that, only the ultra premium have, or are you seeing this more mainstream? What's kind of the scope there?
It's really, as it increases in popularity and brands become aware of that, basically it's really spread out across the whole spectrum, where pretty much every brand nowadays is going to offer some type of induction type product. So it's not just limited to the luxury brands or the appliance brands that are higher scale. More of the value brands today have also introduced this in both cooktop surfaces or even ranges.
Really?
So it's really become one of the norms per se, as far as the industry is concerned, and it's going to continue to increase in that direction.
Great. So you're saying there's probably options for me even at maybe the mid to lower end of the scale for price points, all the way up to the premium.
Absolutely.
Okay.
In today's world, it's from the very basic all the way to the very expensive.
So help me there. Take me through that step of what would I be getting as I spend more? What might help me make my decision as to why I'd spend maybe a little more on one brand than the next?
Basically, as you begin to spend more with different categories and different brands, some of the differences that you're going to start achieving are the simplicity of application. Some of the more luxury brands will offer some unique applications for flush type application as shown here. Others are really the versatility of use with regards to multiple burners that can be connected or bridged to allow for a larger cooking surface and the freedom to utilize different pots, different sizes in different areas of the cooktop surface. So basically, as they do get more expensive, it's really the ease of use, the flexibility in the product, the amount of power per se as far as wattage or even bridging capabilities which unify different elements. So really that's what you would achieve as they get more expensive.
Okay. And then tell me this. So popular brands, it sounds like a lot of them have them. Are there a couple of brands, maybe at the lower price point, a mid price point, maybe a couple of premium brands that come to you, maybe you think of that were popular?
From the value basic brands, you're going to have companies like Frigidaire that offer a great, simple type cooktop surface. Samsung, another brand. Bosch being a very good, considerable brand. As far as your value to mid-tier brands. Even getting into your luxury brands. Wolf's got a great one, as does Miele.
Okay.
Thermador also puts out a very nice cooktop with some, very nice versatility to it.
Okay.
So, from the general perspective, as far as the spectrum thereof, every single brand's got them. As far as from a value perspective, you go from the very basic in Frigidaire all the way up through those more eccentric like that in the Wolf brand.
Okay, so if I'm a customer and I'm thinking induction, and you kind of have me convinced here, but I'm still on the fence. Does Yale offer any services maybe that I could come here and actually maybe really try it out? You said some of the things are live, but could I actually try to cook something on this? I mean, is that any services, anything you offer in store like that?
That's actually a great question, Dennis, and that comes up quite a bit in our showroom with our clients. With this being a very electrical type unit, that often makes consumers nervous with regards to all the electronic components associated to the piece. But one of the key factors with regards to making purchases or even considering a very reputable retailer is doing a little research in the history with regards to whether or not they're going to offer service as a company, installation as a company, because those are all key components with regards to today's purchases. Being educated on the fact that the retailer that you're going to purchase from, like us here at Yale, do offer certified technicians that can come out and service everything they sell. Also be able to go out and install them properly, which is also a key component with regards to proper application and use.
Okay, great. Eddie, I appreciate your time. Hopefully we've answered some of the questions that we get in the store often, and I think it was certainly insightful to hear it direct from someone that gets these types of questions every day.
Absolutely.
So, thank you. This is Yale signing off.
Thank you.
Take care.